أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all the people who are going to watch this video and listen to the audio as well if they are busy in doing something else. So let's come to the main point. Main point is today's date. According to the Muslim calendar, today there is 3rd of Shawwal 1447 Hijri on Sunday. Christian date, the day is the same, it is Sunday. Date is 22 March 2026. After this, I will tell you the topic, which is genocide of children, whether it's in Iran or anywhere else. And why did I say Iran? Because most of the countries who do not like Iran, they like to pronounce to say Iran. Why? I ran away from there. Now I ran back to Iran once again to commit another genocide and murders and all those destruction and oil embargo and all that crap, which is the masterpiece of powerful people to commit crimes and then claim they are the good ones and everyone else is evil. But this is the point. Iran just have tragedy in which about 170 innocent girls were murdered by America and Israel, and now Iran is trying to take revenge. And you should, I agree with you, because these girls haven't done anything. But I have to ask you, Iran, were you crying for this next event that I'm going to tell you the date, time, and how long it lasted and how many children died? Because they were your neighbors in Iraq. You know why these countries cannot pronounce Iraq properly? Because they say I ragged it, because they ragged Iraq properly. So to this day, it's in shambles. So let's go with the first one, page 1. 4,764 days. That is consisted of 13 years and 16 days. Do you know what was happening next to you in Iraq, Iran? Do you remember? No-fly zone to punish Saddam Hussein for invading Kuwait, which was actually done by the orders of the Americans. After all, Saddam Hussein have, like, what can I say? He's dead now. So anyway, no-fly zone. 500,000 children under 5 died. In how many days? Well, 4,764 days. That many. This is just a conservative number. Otherwise, the number can go to 10 million easily if we include those children who are older than 5, like under 18. Why? Because of no-fly zone. As a result, there was no medicine and food was reaching to Iraq. So they were dying of starvation, sickness, diseases, and just bad environment, So Iran, what did you do then? Why didn't you say you're going to take the revenge? Because you were part of it. Simple as that. Now you're crying that 168 children have died. Yeah, that is wrong. I agree with you. But what have you done in the past? So that was right next to you. And don't forget your crimes in Afghanistan also. You were fully supporting American lords through the door of Northern Alliance. So you're no angel either. So now it's coming back to you. It's called karma. But now I'll move on. That's sufficient for that. Otherwise, I can keep on going and going. But too many people are going to listen from one ear and going to fly from the other ear. Now we come to the so-called modern, civilized, Western Christian society. And the only reason they became so modern and civilized by stealing the resources from the rest of the world. So we will start from last 500 years of African slave trade. 13 million free sovereign Africans were enslaved, and then the shipment started through Atlantic to America. out of which approximately, exact number could not be collected, but 3 millions died already in the shipment or the travel or journey or excursion. So guess what happened to them? If you were sick, injured, or dead, you were thrown in the Atlantic as a fish feed. Now you cannot even find the bones because the salt water have dissolved all the bones. So did anybody condemn these crimes by these countries? I will give you the list. Also, these 3 millions do not include only grown-ups. It included children also, because obviously children will get sick when there are bad environment and is not even livable conditions when you're shackled 24 hours a day, and no sewerage and no water, fresh water, nothing such, no good food, anything. Children are going to die. So how many do you think 3 millions out of 3 million were? 25% were children. That's a conservative estimate. But I will tell you the culprit, these countries. Who were these? The major ones. The biggest troublemaker in the Europe, which have occupied most countries, which is 56 countries plus territories, is England. And most of the problems that we have today are created by England. So England is number one. And I call them bloodthirsty, Zionist, arrogant, Christian, European countries that included England, Portugal, France, Spain, Netherlands, Denmark, and Sweden. These are the main ones. So who is crying for it? Either Iran, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, any African country, any so-called modern civilized Western society. Are they condemning this African slave trade of the atrocities? Also, guess what? Even after reaching to the American shores, which was wiped out by the native population, was wiped out by these invaders, 50% of the infants in the first year alone died because of the bad environment. No health, no doctor, nothing to cure for the sickness or anything, because when you're living in the worst of the worst conditions, death is your fate. So let's go to another Christian criminal. Let's see, where is that? Oh, here is that. Free State Congo. It was a sovereign country, but how could Europeans tolerate a free sovereign country? And that happens to be in Africa, and these people were black, as usual, because they were in Congo. So the Caucasian have to show their supremacy. So guess what? Who did it this time? This time, this mass murderer, war criminal, was King Leopold of Belgium from 1885 to 1908. That's 23 years. 8,395 days of continuous atrocities in Congo. And 15 million, that's a rough estimate, conservative estimate, were slaughtered, raped, tortured, and murdered, which is a standard practice of the Christians invaders anyway. In almost every country they went, they have done the same crimes. They're no angels, so. And approximately 5 children were also raped, tortured, and murdered. But there was one more crime which have taken place in this country more than anywhere else. Now the same crime is taking place in Gaza and Sudan. Guess what they did? When the parents were unable to meet the rubber quota, because rubber was the most important trade at that time from the Congo, the children's hands were amputated. So the most amputees from 1885 to 1908, guess what was the country? Congo. Congo Free State. Free State means most amputees, most orphans, and more people raped, tortured, and murdered, right? So who condemned it? Iran, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, any European country? When it comes to committing crimes, these so-called Muslim countries, they stand hand in hand with the non-Muslim countries. They're like, no, we cannot talk about it. No, if we talk about it, they're gonna do the same thing to us, so we will not say anything. This is the role of the Muslim countries. Lately is been very obvious, Now after that, let's come back to World War I. Guess who started it? Christians, as usual. And it started in August 1914 and in November 1918. Guess how many days? First I'll say 4 years, 3 months, and 18 days. And 1,500 days. Guess what? Estimated 500 children, 1,000 dead, and estimated 500,000 orphans, mostly Christians. To this day, we are portrayed as good and evil in the society. But the point is this: if the good is committing exact same acts as the evil was doing, so what's the difference between you and them? You committed the atrocities as well. So if one side is doing it, the other side is doing it, so you're no good either. It was two evil fighting against each other. Simple as that. And then as a result, plenty of the major empires were gone. So today, the only empires are left is actually British Empire. And if they get a chance to control the world, they will do it in a jiffy. Now let's come to World War II. It started on September 1939 till September 1945. That makes here 6 years and 1 day, or 2195 days. This time, the technology have advanced. There was oil, there was speed, there was more lethal weapons. Guess what happened? 5 million children dead and 5 million orphans also at the same time. Guess who were they? Mostly Christians, right? So, yeah, I mean, who cares? Now, one more very important part. During this, there was another revolution called Bolshevik Revolution. It happened from 1917 to 1922, 1795 days, 4 years and 11 months. In this, 60 million people died, mostly in Russia and surrounding countries, and it was combined Christian and Muslim, and this was started by the Jews. So now when the Jews are crying for Holocaust, we should all look in this so-called Bolshevik revolution, which have killed 60 million, not 6 million. I'm not sure where the number came from, 6 million, but 60 million is confirmed in Russia and Central Asia and all those other countries surrounding Russia, including Ukraine also. So that was another one. Now let's come to move another one in Europe once again. And the year is from, it happened in installments. It didn't happen one time, so most of the world kept on sleeping as usual. It happened in former Yugoslavia, Yugoslavia genocide. And I can tell you this, if the Serbs get a chance to this day, they're going to commit exactly same genocide, and it's going to happen very soon in Europe, and they're going to kill the Muslim just because they are Muslim by name. They're not going to care whether you're a good Muslim, bad Muslim. They're going to kill you regardless. It already happened by Serbs, the bloodthirsty one, Christian Serbs in Europe. They're going to do it again, but I'll tell you the dates. First wave, 1991, or total time, 1991 to 2001, 3,653 days, 10 years. 2000, second wave, Sarajevo, 1992 to 1995. Kosovo is during same time. The 200,000 Muslims were massacred. That's a conservative figure, and 25 were children. 25% I mean were children. And as usual, rape, torture, and murder was a normal thing for the Muslims. So I mean, all the Muslim countries were sleeping as usual. The so-called modern civilized Christian Europe didn't even say anything to this day. They just did a drama, a little bit of Slobodan Milosevic, but most of them ran away, because obviously they were Christians, so you were going to support one of your own clan, simple as that. Then we come down to another genocide, a big one. And that also the whole world just kept on watching from a distance. Why? Because it was once again in Africa. And guess who were the people? They were black, right? And they are called Hutu and Tutsis. Guess what happened? Close to 1 million people wiped out. Approximately 300,000 children were murdered. And how did this genocide stop? Did the world intervene? No. There was no one left to murder anymore. So that's what happened. Now, let's see if I have any other information. Oh yes, one more. Oh, how can I forget this one? I already talked about the genocide in Gaza, but I haven't done a video on Pakistani role and Sudan role in the current situation. That I'll do it little later on. But Burma genocide is starting from stages. This also started in stages from 1974 to 1980. That was the first wave. 1991 to 1992, there was another wave. Actual genocide, 300,000 rape, torture, and murder and displaced. Then the second wave is started of genocide, same story, August 2007. In 2012, that was the second wave. And the third wave happened in 2017. Same crime, then 2024, fourth wave of genocide. Now, my question is this: Muslim world, where are you? Abul Shaitan, oh, the Saudi ruler, or Abul Takallum al Kazbun, that hero who wants to be the caliphate of the Muslim empire, this Rajab La Tayyib. Where are you? This is going on. This haven't stopped, right? So now one more. Oh, if we think China is angel, no, 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 not at all. China, you are committing atrocities, crimes, rape, torture, and murder on Uyghur Muslims. And if somebody make a single statement like I'm doing, you're gonna come and growl at me. That is our internal matter. Who are you to interfere with Chinese affair? No, this is not internal matter. I have a courage to tell you and the whole world that you are committing atrocities just like American lords are committing in the rest of the world. So you are no different either. And you claim you are a friend with Pakistan. If your claim is so good and so true, why are you killing the Uyghur Muslims, raping, torturing, and murdering them? Iran, they are very closer with you. They are supporting you fully. Did you say a single statement in favor of the Uyghur Muslims? No, no. And let's talk about, oh, I forgot to say something. Eid, this is the third day of the Eid, so Eid Mubarak. And the reason I have to say that because Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said that, so I have to say the Eid Mubarak. But I will give you one more news. Congratulations. The arrogance of Muslims during the Ramzan, which happens to be on the scale of 1 to 10 to 1000, is now back to 1 to 10, and they're back in normal condition. They're not gonna complain anymore. They're still gonna waste the food, they're still gonna waste the water, but their arrogance have came down. So I think this is good for today. If somebody is willing to pass this video to Iran, be my guest. I'll be very happy.